Hey everyone, welcome to Totally Not Unbothered. I'm your host, Alyssa, and as always, I'm so happy to have you guys here. For starters, happy Thursday. I know it is so weird to be seeing me on a Thursday instead of a Wednesday, and we're going to get into that. But as always, let's go through the week. So, this past week was it was pretty good. Podcast went out with my sister and oh, it was amazing. I came back, I went to classes, I went to some baseball stuff for ASU because I'm their like lead photographer. So I've been doing a lot of stuff with baseball in that area. I have photos I need to edit. Oh my god, it's been like I took them on Saturday and it's Thursday. So you do the math in that area. Friday, I got my hair dyed. I got my hair rehighlighted. You can't really tell. Next time it's down, I'll point it out again. But I got my hair rehighlighted. That was super fun. Saturday, I spent it with baseball again. And then I went out Saturday night with two of my friends, and that was very fun. I was like the tiniest bit tipsy, not gonna lie. Unfortunately, there was not a single hot guy in the whole club. The hottest guys were the security guards, and I doubt that they were going to be wanting to be flirted with, because that's probably something that occurs throughout their whole shift, and I wasn't going to be another one of those annoying girls who's trying to get the security guard's number. So those were the hottest guys. Every other guy inside the club was butt fucking ugly. Let me tell you. Anybody who says Arizona has hot men should have stepped in the club with me Saturday night because they're fucking hideous. So, and then all of the guys kept fucking staring at me because, of course, I'm hot as fuck. I'm not going to deny that. I had my makeup done, hair done, cute ass fit. Like, I was looking fly as fuck. And so, of course, these guys are going to fucking stare at me. I don't blame them. However, you're ugly. Ooh, like, you're literally ugly. So, yeah. So that was that. Um, but yeah, they were all ugly, and I was like, stop fucking staring at me, you ugly ass fuckers. I need a hot guy, a hot baseball player specifically. Please and thank you. Manifesting that every night when I go to bed. Um, because why not? That's just what I want, and that's what I like. So if it's if you got an issue with that, well then bye bye. Anyways, the rest of my week was a pretty chill and pretty good vibes. I hope I'm recording. Oh, I am. I feel like that happens all the time where I'm just like not recording. So yeah. So the rest of my week was good, and yeah. So okay. Last week I did an episode with my sister. I know I'm on my phone. Give me a second. Last week I did an episode with my older sister, and it was one of my favorite freaking books. Sorry, I was reading something. Ooh, I actually did start a new book. It's called Red Queen by Victoria Ayard or something like that. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's a whole series. It's four books. I'm on the first book of the series. 10 out of 10 recommend. It was so fucking good. I'm literally about to like email her and be like, have you ever thought about making this like a motion picture? Like a major motion picture film? Because I think it would slay. It gives like Hunger Games, like it's very dystopian, and I love that shit. So yeah, like Divergent kind of Hunger Games mix little bit. It's just super cool. Anyways, okay. So last week was my very first guest episode, and I am so grateful I got to start it off with who I started off. My older sister, Samantha. She is such an amazing person, and she is such a joy, and if you know her, it truly is like to know her is to love her. Like you cannot know her and not just love who she is. She's an amazing person, she's an amazing friend, she's so supportive, she's so funny. Like she truly has so many amazing qualities about herself. And originally the first guest was going to be my mom. Unfortunately, my mom just didn't want to record an episode yet. She will be on it. All of my family will have their own episode, as I mentioned last week. So sorry, I have like the sniffles. But yeah, she just didn't want to be on it. So I was like, "Hey, Samantha, you want to be on it?" Samantha, of course, was like, "Yes." So we made it happen. But I've got like a taste of what it's like to have just like a fun, laid back, chill kind of episode. And to tell you, I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with it. Like, I loved it. I loved just having an episode where you could have fun and you could laugh and you could vibe and you could just talk about random shit. And so, like, obviously, every single episode before that has been serious and it's been deep and it's been a lot. You know, it can be a lot. And a lot of my episodes do have learning moments and they do have kind of like guidance and stuff like that. And that's great and that's fun. And it's amazing and it's super helpful, you know, because that is the type of person who I am. I do love to help, I love to give advice. And this podcast is just like a space where I can give advice and I can share what I've gone through and how I've gotten through it and my opinions on certain things and certain aspects, you know. And so I love that, but I also the people who know me know that I love to have fun and I love to laugh and I love to have a good time, you know? I'm very much outgoing, I'm outspoken, I'm loud, I'm annoying. I laugh a lot and I like to have fun. And last week's episode was the first episode where it felt like you guys were truly, truly seeing my personality and I want to stick with that vibe and stick with that energy. So going forward, I'm going to try and kind of like encapsulate encapsulate, I don't know the fucking word, capture that energy every single video. And so every single video is going to look hopefully it's going to look different from the first 9 episodes I put out. I think I needed a guest to kind of like help me get a good vibe on what I wanted. And Samantha could not have been a more perfect first guest. I mean, me and Samantha, we vibe very well together. I think both of our energies match very, very well, which is another thing, you know. All of my guests that I want on my podcast, I'm thinking very strongly about them. I'm considering who they are as people, who they are energy wise, if they're good, if they would be good in a podcast, if we'd be able to vibe, hit it off. Because it's the environment can be different when there's a camera and versus when there's not. With me and Samantha, it was like there wasn't even a camera there. Like it was just us having a conversation like that. Quite literally is what our conversations with each other looks like. And it was so great and such an honor, honestly, to show you guys that. You know, and I don't think every episode needs to have this life lesson in it and needs to have this, oh my gosh, like, holy shit moment, you know, because let's be real. I mean, that isn't life. You're not learning 24/7. You learn every now and again, but life isn't about learning every single day, you know? So, yes, that was just a little like rant. So, yes, huge, 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 huge shout out to Samantha for helping me kind of get this idea of where I want my podcast to head towards, of the energy I want to bring into every single episode now. Because I want it to be fun. I want it to be lighthearted. When I first started this podcast, the goal was I wanted it to feel like a FaceTime call with a friend. I wanted it to be no secrets, no filters, completely keeping it real with you. And I felt like I had to go through notes and um I had to be specific to certain things. I had to hit certain points, you know? And I don't have to plan for everything because let's be real, that's impossible. And that is today's episode. I texted my friend. I was like, I have a perfect episode because I could not think of one. But you cannot plan for everything. And this podcast, this episode, is proof of that. So this is the first time, besides my guest episode, that I have no notes. I have no outline to go off of. This episode It's not supposed to be super chaotic. It's not supposed to be crazy. It's just supposed to be real. It's supposed to be my thoughts and me and whatever the hell is going on in this head of mine. Because that is what I wanted to bring you guys. I wanted to give you guys my most chaotic, truest self. Because every podcast I feel like is so freaking similar. It's sitting there and it's giving advice, and it's sitting there and it's talking you through situations, and it's sitting there and it's telling you how to be better. And you know what? That's great. I'm never going to knock it because, hello, like, I love doing that. And some of my episodes will still heavily be related to that. But something I also want for my podcast is I want it to have, my legs are just fucking like, ugh, I worked out yesterday. I'll get into that right now. But I also just wanted it to be a fun space, a space where you can come for a good laugh, just put it on your TV and we're just shooting the shit. That's what I want also. I want it to be fun. I want you to enjoy it because what the hell's the point if you're sitting here listening to me ramble for 45 minutes and you're like, man, I just feel like I wasted 45 minutes of my life watching this girl? Like, huh? That would hurt me to my core if you said that. Because at the end of the day, like, I love this podcast so much, and I wish I could just, like, I wish you guys could see and just feel how much I love this podcast, but I'm not doing it just for me, you know? And I'm not saying, oh, I'm doing it for my fans, because that's not true, but I'm doing it to help others, and I'm doing it because maybe what I have to say is important and other people need to hear that, you know? And so at the end of the day, like, yes, this podcast is my baby and I love it and it makes me happy. But this podcast is more for you guys than it is for me, which is why I love your feedback and I love your advice and I love your ideas and I love your critiques and I love your comments because it helps me grow. It helps me become better. And no comment, no idea, no suggestion is bad and is something that I'll take to heart. Because at the end of the day, I want to grow my podcast as much as possible. I would love to be the next Call Her Daddy podcast. I would fucking love that shit. I would love it. Like, that's the goal, you know? And I'm not worried about how I'm starting, but I also, like, I want it to be fun. So, anyways, but episode 11. I believe it's 11. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. It might be 10. I think it's 11. I don't know. Episode whatever. You can't plan for everything. And this podcast is proof. So, I I like to have a plan when I go into things. This podcast, I get so stressed when it comes to talking about things because I'm like, okay, well, what if I talk in a circle? What if I ramble? What if I don't get my point across? Blah, 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 blah. I need a list to stick to what I want to talk about, which is fair. But the other day, I'm thinking about that, and actually, I just lied to you guys. Right now, I'm thinking about this right now as I'm saying this to you, and me rambling and me blurting and me jumping from idea to topic is who I am. That is me. If you are my friend and you know me in real life, you know that I will tell you 20 stories in the span of 5 minutes that don't even relate to the original story, but I will somehow get back to the original story and finish that one off. So in reality, I just told you 21 stories. You're welcome. If you know me and or you're my family or you're super close to me, you know that is how my mind works. But sometimes you need a plan to feel in control. And that's how I felt. This podcast is something that I want to work. I want it to work so badly. I want it to be successful. And so I've felt like I've needed to go into every single episode with a plan and with an idea. And if I didn't have a plan, it would fail or nobody would watch it, nobody would listen to it. Like, I needed points to hit. I needed everything to wrap up in a nice, pretty bow at the end. I needed it to make sense. I needed my viewer, you, to feel good after watching it, to feel like you learned something after watching it. And let me tell you, the pressure and the stress that put on me, because I would go through my outline and I would just hate it. It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel like stuff that I would say sometimes. And this is in no way saying like, oh, any of my episodes were like false or faulty or lies, because I believe in every single one of the episodes I've said, but sticking to a plan and sticking to a strict outline isn't me. And it's also not a lot of people. And I'm not saying planning isn't good, because planning's really good. I like to have a plan for school, I like to plan out my assignments. And so many people are like that too. I know so many people who plan in study time, or they plan in advance of their trips, or they plan their meals ahead of time. Planning is helpful. It is. But planning is not an end all, be all sort of thing. It's not something that makes or breaks us, you know? And I feel like nowadays planning kind of like, it kind of gets like shoved down our throats in a way, if that even makes sense. It might not. And give me a second, I'm going to connect the dots in a minute. But, I'm sorry. That was rude of me. I'm tired. But I feel like everybody is always pushing like planning. Planning, 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 planning. I mean, how many of us have had to make a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 15-year plan, whatever? I made a 10-year or maybe a 15-year plan when I was a freshman in high school. A freshman in high school. I was 15. I didn't know what I was going to be doing in 10 years, in 15 years, 25 to 30 years, at 25 years old. I had no idea what I'd be doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but yet society makes us feel like we have to have a plan. We see these milestones that everybody else is hitting, and you sort of feel behind. Shit, I think I'm hitting like the sound. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna move. Oh, I thought you could hear that. I'm gonna move things around. Do you guys mind if I check my Snapchat real quick? Someone snapped me. I'm gonna let you guys be involved in it. I'm gonna snap them back while I'm recording. I'm literally. Oh, you guys love me. Eh. Oh my god, I'm so funny. I think I'm funny. Thank you guys for sitting in silence with me for like 2 minutes while I snapped someone back. I can't believe I just did that. And see, that's, like my friend says, so Alyssa coded. Because, hello, that's just funny. And that's literally who I am. Fuck, I'm so fucking sore. I went to the gym yesterday. I'm getting back into the habit of going to the gym. And my gosh, I hit legs on Monday. And then no, I hit shoulder and chest on Monday, and my arms were bad yesterday. And then yesterday, Tuesday, I hit glutes and hammies. I did Huda from Love Island's glute and hammy workout. And let me tell you, there is a reason her ass is so freaking fat, because that shit killed me. And I didn't even do the full thing because I was missing a piece of equipment. So I can only imagine the type of pain I'd be feeling. Like, damn. Damn. She knows what she's talking about. I also did her ab workout a couple days ago, Monday. That also killed my abs. Killed them. There's a reason that girl is all natural. Man, she is hot as fuck. Can't even lie. Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying about the planning part. Sorry, you guys. I'm pretty sure therapist, my therapist thinks that I might have ADHD, but we don't know for sure. I'd have to see like a psychiatrist to get diagnosed with it. But like, all they're gonna do is put me on meds, and like I like the way I am, so I'm gonna stay like this. Okay, anyways, back to my episode. Sorry guys. This it probably is just gonna be just as chaotic as last week's. Anyways, so planning, it feels forced onto us, you know? Like, I'm 15. Why am I thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing in 10 years? I don't know what I'm going to be doing, you know? And if I could look back at that paper that I wrote, I would probably be so freaking surprised and so freaking shocked on how things have ended up. I probably said that I was going to be in a relationship and I was going to be on my way to hopefully getting engaged because when I was younger, I had wanted to be engaged by maybe like 24 or 25. Mind you, I still have 4 or 5 more years to that. I have 4 years, 4 more years to that. But like currently, right now, I am single. There is not a man that, yeah, that I'm entertaining. No. And 15-year-old Alyssa probably would be so upset about that. Sorry, girl. Like, what do you want me to do about it? These Arizona men want a white girl, and that's not me. They want a white woman with blonde straight hair, brunette straight hair, and that is not me. Okay? Or they want a sorority girl, and that is not me. No hate to those girls. They are gorgeous women. I don't blame them. But I'm just saying, everybody has a type, and I'm not everybody's type. And that's okay. I don't know why I'm not, because I'm light skinned, curly hair, gorgeous, gorgeous girl. But I digress. Anyways, so this whole idea of everything needs to be planned is so fucking ridiculous because when do plans actually fucking work? Please, 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 please share. Please share that with me, okay? Because half of the time, the plan goes through the fucking window or through the roof and it's gone because guess what? Shit hits the fan. You know why? Because that's fucking life. That is. You can't plan out everything because it's boring or it's uninteresting and it fucking sucks. Hence, my podcast episodes. They've been a bit deep and a bit serious, like Samantha said last week. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Sometimes I'm a bit bored. I'm a bit bored and I'm the one recording it. Yeah. So I can only imagine the viewers watching it. Like, you might be bored too. You guys probably won't tell me that because you love me, but like, you might be bored too. And that's okay. Because, like I said, I have a very strict plan and a very strict outline and a bunch of fucking notes that I go through and follow because I'm like, oh, I have to hit this and I need to talk about that. That I feel like I'm losing my personality. I'm sacrificing that. And that is something going forward I do not want to sacrifice. Am I saying that no episode will ever be planned out again? No. Because guess what, guys? Filming a podcast episode is fucking hard. It is so hard. And I don't make my life any easier by waiting to the last minute to record it. I just don't. So, good job, Alyssa. High five. Yeah. I just like lost, I totally lost my train of thought right there. Well, planning an episode is hard. And it is. And so, if planning an episode is hard, imagine life. Imagine that. Or, okay, I guarantee everybody's going to understand what I'm talking about when I say this, okay? So, remember when we were all kids and everybody asks, what do you want to be when you grow up? You have a plan, you have an idea, you have a path that you want to follow. How many of us are actually doing or pursuing what we wanted to do when we were a child? I can say with full freaking confidence that I am not. My plan did not go according to whatsoever in the fucking slightest. I wanted to be a veterinarian when I was a child. That was the plan. Yeah, I'm going to school to get a Bachelor's of Arts degree, a BA in psychology, then to go on to get my MS in counseling so I can be a child and adolescent therapist. Yeah, that seems completely different seeing as I wanted to work with animals and now I want to work with humans. Yay! And that's what I mean. You know, that's what I mean when I say that planning, it's not an end all be all situation. You don't have to plan every second of every day of your life out because shit happens. Life is very, very messy majority of the time. And there is no way to plan for every setback, every mistake, every bump in the road. There just isn't. You know how boring life would be if we were able to plan for everything? Be for real. And now I'm not saying that I wish I couldn't plan for some things. Of course, I wish I could. When you lose a family member, it'd be nice to have been able to plan for that, to know in advance when that's going to happen. It would save you a lot of heartache, and it would have saved me a lot of heartache. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Sorry, guys, if I'm getting a bit emotional. These couple months are just extremely hard because a lot of my grandparents have passed away. And God, do I wish I was able to plan for that. But unfortunately, that's one of those things that isn't possible. No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you wish you could plan for stuff like that, it's a bump in the road and it sucks. I didn't think I'd be crying in like episode 11 or 10 of Totally Not Unbothered, but here we are. And that's okay. Like I said, I didn't plan on crying, but it's a bump in the road and it happens. And that's okay. Because life is not supposed to be this perfect thing that can be planned out to a T. It's supposed to be fun and messy and chaotic. And it's also supposed to hurt and be sad and painful. And it's supposed to break your heart every now and again. If you could plan for everything in the world, you know how much growth you would miss out on? You'd miss out on a lot. Because when you don't plan, you learn to just roll with the punches, to go where life takes you. I'm doing that right as we fucking speak. Because I don't have my handy dandy iPad with my handy dandy outline. Not today. I just cried on camera. Well, like a little bit, like a smidge. And do you think I was expecting that? No. But it happens. And it's okay. Because that just shows you I'm human and I like that. And I will keep that in for you guys to see. Me bawling. That's gonna be the thumbnail. Like this. Should that be the thumbnail, guys? Well, you'll see it and let me know if that was a good choice or not. Oh my god, I had a wedgie. Sorry. I had to get it, guys. I apologize. But yeah. So this episode is gonna be shorter than previous ones. It's only about to be like 30 minutes right now, so it'll probably keep it. I'll probably wrap it up in a little bit because I don't want it to be too much. But I want you guys to know that it's okay to not have a plan. It's okay to go into things blindly. It's okay to not have everything figured out. It's totally okay. That's the fun of it. When you go into a maze, you don't know where you're going. You don't know whether to go left, right, straight. If you missed an exit, if you missed a spot, you have no plan on how to get out. You're just going with the flow. You're just having fun. And then you get out and you had a great time. Life is kind of like a maze. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow and let the roads lead where they may. Could it be a dead end? Yes. So turn around. Could you have made a wrong turn? Yes. But maybe it was actually the right one. Embrace the uncertainty of life. Embrace the unplannedness of it all. I'm not saying to never plan again because I quite literally bought a planner today at Target because some things are worth planning for. Hashtag hola. Some people are worth melting for. Can you believe that movie came out in like 2013 or 2012? Let's see when that. Let's actually. Let's see when that movie came out. It came out in 2013. Can you believe that? 2013. Damn. It's 2025. That was literally 12 years ago. Wow, that makes me feel old. I remember watching it with my little sister and we would like act out Frozen and I was always Elsa because Elsa was the coolest one. Duh. And that was me, so. Anyways, back to what I was saying. You've got to embrace the messiness and the chaos. No matter what. You cannot plan out everything, even if you want to. Even if you wish you could, you can't. So there is no point in trying to fight that. Embrace it. And that is why this is this episode. Because I wanted to embrace the chaos and the unplannedness of totally not unbothered. Of I wanted to let loose and have fun and not feel constricted to something. And I hope you guys enjoyed this too. Because I had a lot of fun. I'm not saying every episode will be like this because sometimes it's hard to talk for 30 minutes with nobody to talk to. I mean, yes, I'm talking to you, but you guys don't answer, so. Oh shit, my look at my cute little Halloween pillow that my mom got me. Isn't it cute? I love it. Oh my god, I hope this shit was focused. Yeah, it was. I hope. If it was unfocused this whole time, I'm fucked. Because that means I have to re-record it. I don't want to. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Put in the comments where that's from, if you know it. And if you know it and you don't comment, you're just fake. So please put it in the comments. Thank you. Okay, anyways, let me wrap this up because now I'm just starting to ramble, okay? Don't plan for everything. Plan for the things you need to plan for. Yes, of course. If you're trying to get pregnant, you should probably plan for that because if you just pop a baby out at 15, that's going to be a stressful life. Okay? Don't do that. If you're trying to get your doctorate, plan for that. Make a timeline that can be adjustable, that can be adjusted. Plan for that. If you're trying to graduate with all A's, stay on top of your school work. Plan for that. If you're trying to take a vacation, yes, plan for that. You need to save money. You need to work around your schedules, obviously. But not everything is plannable. And that is okay. Shit happens, life sucks. But it's also great and it's also beautiful. And the messiness is what makes it amazing. That's what I think. And as always, I'm just a girl with an opinion. So you don't have to listen to me one fucking bit. So, yeah. But I'll see you guys next time. Because I didn't have a plan for this episode. Hence why I wanted to post it today. instead of yesterday because I wanted to prove to you guys just how much of a plan you don't need to have. And even some plans fall through. So, with that being said, I love you guys. And I hope you have a great day. Get some rest, drink your water, and as always, go do something that makes you happy. I love you so, 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 so much. Oh, before I go, actually, I've been thinking, should I start a YouTube channel, guys? Would you be interested in that? Comment down below if that's something you'd be interested in. Whether you're watching on YouTube, on Spotify, or listening on Apple Podcasts, comment whether I should start a YouTube channel. And if you guys want to see more of my life outside of just podcasts. But yes, I'll start. Yeah, I have to go. I've been freaking talking too much. And I hope you guys enjoyed a bit of a shorter episode this time. So, I love you guys. Get some rest. Go drink your water. And as always, do something that makes you happy. And I will catch you in the next ones. I will catch you in the next one. Later, skater. Mwah!